Hey everybody, welcome to my second chocolate tasting video. If you're just joining us, we are tasting along with Seth Godin, who in March of 2021 put out a big chocolate tasting list, and he's going through tasting each bar. So at the bottom of this video in the description, you'll see a link to his video, and he's going to be tasting the same bar that we'll be tasting today. I recommend you watch his video first and then come back and check out this video. So this is the Fruition Chocolate Bolivia Wild 74% bar. Fruition is an amazing chocolate maker in upstate New York. This bar in particular is really exciting because it's a wild cocoa bean, which you don't see too often. I have tried the Bolivia one from a couple other makers, and it's usually really incredible. So I'm excited to see what this one is like. Really nice label, as you'd expect. Nice color, and this is, I think you'd call it embossed. So great gift. This is $14 on their website. And I think I ordered a couple bars in order to get free shipping. But they have a lot of really great bars. So I'm going to start by breaking off a piece of this bar. So this bar has a really beautiful design on it. It's very faint, so it's tough to capture on video, but they kind of have a little bit of their logo on the bar itself. So this bar showed up in great condition, definitely a well-tempered bar. I'm going to just play the snap. Really great snap. I've been ordering a couple bars off of Amazon recently, just mostly because I'm really blown away by the quality of chocolate bar that you can find with Prime shipping, and that's exciting, but they haven't shown up in the best condition. And this is definitely not the case when it's shipped from most chocolate makers, and this one came in great condition. So to start with, I'm going to smell this bar. So this bar, because it's a little bit warmer out, I kept in the fridge until about 30 minutes before this tasting. Ideally, you want to taste your chocolate at room temperature, so I am missing some of the smell because it's a little colder. But I'm definitely getting like a little bit of butteriness on the nose, a little bit of spices like cinnamon, and a little bit of like cherry, kind of fruity taste to it. I'm really excited to try this bar, so I'm going to get right into that. Wow. So this is a really incredible bar. I actually feel like this is not a bar that I would buy myself just to eat as kind of like a day-to-day, everyday chocolate. This is very much something, other than it being a little bit pricier, that I would give as a gift. Or this is a great bar to bring over to a friend's house instead of a bottle of wine if they're having like a small dinner party once everything is back to normal. This is a really amazing bar, but it's got a lot of stuff going on. So I'm going to taste it one more time, and then I'm going to start going through the tasting. So immediately, you're getting like a little bit of that butteriness, a little bit of cotton candy. Just a little bit of fruitiness. And then almost immediately after that, you're getting fudge. So it has really deep fudgy flavors to it. And then the interesting part of this bar is it all disappears very quickly. So you kind of have this journey, and then it's over, and you're left with just like a buttery finish. I think that's a good thing. It's if I were to choose, I definitely like a bar that leaves a flavor a little bit longer, but this is an excellent bar, and it's one that's going to really blow people away. Would blow you away if you've never had a bar like this. Being a wild bar, I'd expect it to have some more interesting flavors going on, and it definitely does. I took a couple of notes from Seth's tasting that I just want to go through. So he actually called this one like he brought out the fudgy note immediately. I think that was his main tasting note, and he talked about it having Madagascar fudge, which I never associate with Madagascar chocolate. I always think of that as being more fruity, but I'm gonna kind of have that in the back of my mind next time I taste a Madagascar bar. And he picked up some citrusy notes, and I let me try one more time. When I had this bar, when it wasn't taken out of the fridge, when I had it immediately when it arrived, I actually got a lot of citrus notes on the beginning, and then it also faded away, and then it went right into the fudginess. I actually am going to say that it does have a lot of citrusy notes, and it's just a good reminder not to have your chocolate cold. And this is actually fairly warmed up, but even still, you really want to have your chocolate at room temperature, because some of those citrus notes actually disappeared when I had it now, but reading that, I actually remember I had a lot of citrus notes at the beginning. Something else that Seth mentioned that was super interesting is that chocolate, even really good chocolate, you think of this as a $14 chocolate bar, pretty expensive. When you compare it to something like wine, where a really good bottle of wine might be 30 or 60 bucks that you share with a couple people, this bar you could share with a couple people for $14. Amazing deal. This is definitely like a top 10 bar for me. I put it up there with like Soma, and this bar does not disappoint. It's probably my favorite bar from them, though again, it's not one that I would eat every day. But I think they have a Madagascar bar, a couple others. This one is unique for them in that it has all of these kind of crazier flavors. But I would highly recommend going on there, ordering a couple bars, getting free shipping, because they're an amazing chocolate maker. One of the things that I always recommend for people if you're just getting started out tasting chocolate, and I would definitely recommend it for this wild Bolivian cocoa bean that they use. If you have a chocolate store that's nearby, or you're ordering online from like the Meadow, Chocolate Covered in San Francisco, try to find a couple of chocolate makers all using the same bean. So like 3 or 4 chocolate makers all using wild Bolivian cocoa beans. Chances are they're going to be from the same farm, especially if they're from the same region. There's just not that many amazing chocolate farms out there. So most of the time, if they're a couple good chocolate makers, they're usually getting from the same farm. That hopefully will change actually, but right now that is the case for a lot of chocolate that I've tasted. That's a really good way to get started, just to see what every chocolate maker has done with that same bean. And as a kind of next step to that, once you find one chocolate maker that you really like, then get 5 different origins, all from that maker. And it's a really good way to get started tasting. It's something I still like to do if I get the chance. I've been holding this chocolate in my hand for a couple of minutes, and it's now really warm. So I'm going to do one more tasting with it. And that citrus is coming back, and it's coming back strong. I mean, this is like a citrus, like a bomb of citrus flavor. A couple fun chocolate tasting exercises that you can do. One we actually kind of did here, which is like take half of a bar, put it in the fridge, another half at room temperature, and you can just see how much flavor you're missing out if you just have it cold. Another thing that you can try is take a bar of chocolate and eat it really fast. Not a bar, but a piece of a bar. And then same bar, have it for, let it melt in your mouth for 10 seconds, 15 seconds. And you get so much more flavor. You want to let the chocolate melt in your mouth. You don't want to immediately swallow it, at least with good chocolate. You don't want to miss out on all those flavors. So, I mean, it's very much a citrus bomb at the beginning of this bar. And when you get into that citrus and then the butteriness and then the fudginess that then kind of just leaves only butteriness, I think that's what makes this an amazing bar, is you get that journey of just so many flavors, and it really feels like the chocolate maker here knew what they were doing, because they're taking you on a journey. So I love this bar, highly recommend it. Easily a 9 out of 10, maybe even like a 9.2, 9.5 out of 10. Amazing bar. Not one I would have every day, but something that I would definitely have on a special occasion. So I think that's it. We'll wrap it up for this video. If you have any chocolate questions, leave them in the comments. If you get to try this chocolate bar, please let me know what you think in the comments below. We will be doing the next tasting soon. So thank you guys so much for joining.